doing to keep yourself in shape like this? How old are you right now?
I'm 60.
60.
Well, he won't
you're
drink
still
regular
young.
Coke. We just found that out. It's part of his diet.
In the words of Mickey Mantle, if I'd have known I was going to live this long,
Yeah, I knew that
I'd
was
taken
coming.
better care of myself.
Right?
Do you
I
think?
mean, when I heard the Mick say that, I went, he's so cool. Like, like people even gave him a liver, and they knew he was going to drink it to death. But it's Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
Give him a liver.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah. And he gave everyone a heads
Somebody
up on the way
donated.
out, too.
Yeah.
So, we've known about your ups and downs throughout your career.
Really? Because I was keeping it a secret.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Those 12 rehab visits and,
Don't tell anybody.
all
So,
that
recently,
public drunkenness.
Ashley Massaro passed away of suicide. Did you know Ashley?
I never met her.
Let me ask you, with your own experiences, have you ever been suicidal? And if you were, what drags you down
I
that
think
road?
everybody who struggles with any kind of addiction, suicide is right there. Like, mental illness is real. It's not people feeling sorry for themselves. And Mauro Ranallo is a big advocate for that. And God bless him, he's real open about it and stuff. But I think because I was raised a Christian and my mom is a devout Catholic, that, to me, if I commit suicide, I'm going to hell. So hell has got to be worse than whatever I'm going through now. So I just try to kick out. I always try to kick out on two. So I've never, to me, you got to be, and I heard she hung herself. Is that
She
true?
hung herself, yeah.
That's really wanting to. Most women, statistically, it's by drug overdose. Like hanging yourself is really wanting to. And I'm always thinking, what if you, it doesn't happen, what if it doesn't happen right away?
Well, that's like someone that might be on the edge, right? Because you hang yourself, it may not actually work, and then you could actually really put yourself in a bad situation. It's not guaranteed death, let me put it that way.
I don't know, man. I just, and I'm from that era when nearly 40 guys from my era are dead from overdose, some intentional overdose. Because to me, if they find you and the pill bottle's next to you and it's empty, then when they find you and you're OD'd, but there's still pills in the bottle, to me, that's accidental. I mean, if you're going to kill yourself, you don't say, well, I'm going to take 8. You just slam the whole bottle, to me. I've been in some dark places, but never really there, I wanted God to take me. I didn't want heat with God, because I grew up an altar boy, so.
Is it fair to say your religion is still strong now, your faith?
Yeah, I pray before every meal. I pray for every night. I'm always grateful for all the blessings.
Before every podcast?
Well, I try not to do many of those. I don't think I knew. I'm the only guy I think who doesn't have a podcast. I'll do yours if you do mine.
You might be right about that. You might be right, Rabbit.
I don't know, man.
Well, on a much lighter note, how about pro wrestling? Were you a fan of it growing up?
Yeah, my dad took me and some of my buds. My dad was in the Army, so I grew up Army bases all over. And we lived in Fort Rucker, Alabama. My dad took me to the local indie promotion there with 3 or 4 of my buddies for my 8th birthday. And it was a hair match. Okay. Like at 8 years old, I don't remember the guys, but I still have the program. And I ran to the ring. Like they shaved the guy's head in the ring. And even at 8 years old, some of my buddies are going, this stuff's all fake. I'm going, no, it's not, man.
Oh, you're eating it up.
Would you let somebody shave your head? And I went and grabbed a piece of the guy's hair, and there was a little piece of scalp on it. I remember going, look at that, man.
Yeah.
Well, tell me it's fake. I was hooked then.
So what happened the day you found out it wasn't necessarily what you thought it was?
What are you talking about, bro?
There you go.
There
it is. To this day, my man.
It's only fake when I lose. When I win, it's real.
Okay.
There you go.
WrestleMania 10 was 1,000% real.
Hell yeah.
Excellent.
So what do you think of the product and AEW?
I've been at both AEW shows. I think as a wrestler, the more wrestling, the better. Like more places to work, better. And they're a lot of young guys who have their own kind of today's clique. They're the Bullet Club or they're the elite, whatever they call themselves. But it's a bunch of guys who all get along and hang out together and talk business. Like after hours, they sit around and talk business. So they came up with an idea, and I think it's great.
What can they do to avoid what ultimately happened in WCW?
Well, they got big money behind them. I think this whole thing came about, AEW came about, obviously because young talented guys were looking for an alternative. but also by Vince saying, "Hey, XFL's coming again." The money guy behind AEW, the father owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, so he gave his son a couple billion, which already is more than Vince has accumulated. Here, we're in the wrestling business now. So I think the guy just said, "Enough of this. Enough of you. You want to come in my world? I'm coming in your world."
Do you like their odds of succeeding?
Well, that's a good point, man. I didn't think about that.
I think the way they're doing it is they're only doing a few shows with a lot of hype around them. I personally believe that the company buys all the tickets and resells them. I don't think they sold out the MGM Grand in 4 minutes.
No, interesting.
I think the company buys them to create hype and momentum and keep it going, and then they resell them.
Have you been approached about possibly doing any work with AEW?
I have not.
You have not?
No.
Okay.
I almost think I'm at the thing where these guys are young guys and they want to do their own thing. Like they hired Jim Ross, but he was real clear to say, "I'm here if they need me. I'm not volunteering. You know, if they come to me and ask me, I will help them." He's being real clear about it because they got a bunch of young guys, and now they got big money behind them. They're feeling pretty full of themselves, and they should be. They're doing good stuff. I've wrestled in Vegas when I wrestled Kevin Nash there in a red hot storyline with big TV behind us. The place was sold out, same arena, but the fans were quieter. They watched, but they weren't as boisterous. They were rowdy and reckless and ready to go at that show, which is unique for Vegas because you can see Elton John. You can see
Vegas is
Cher.
not a big wrestling town.
No, they've seen everything.
Yeah.
I thought bad move. I didn't think they'd draw, and I thought, man, go to Atlanta, go to Charlotte, go to Philly,
to a hotbed.
go to a wrestling town,
sure.
and go where people can drive. You got to fly to Vegas, and it's the most expensive weekend out there. Hotels were high, airfare was high. It was a big deal.
So it's safe to say Scott Hall is impressed with AEW so far.
Yeah, I mean, to me, wrestling's hot everywhere. It's hot in Japan. It's hot in Europe. You know, I mean.
Do you watch the current product?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Vince too?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to sit through 3 hours of Raw. I'll admit it. I mean, to me, NXT is the hottest show, and mainly because it's new guys, and it's only 1 hour.
And it's short.
It's 1 hour.
Yeah, extension. Yeah.
The very first
all-day
Raws were
programming.
1 hour, and they were hot. 3 hours is brutal.
We had Tatanka in about a week ago,
Yeah.
a week and a half ago, and he was telling us the young talent doesn't respect the legends like yourself. Because you are a legend now, right?
Well,
How do they approach you when they see you in the locker room?
Most of the guys are real cool to me and real respectful.
I would think they would be.
You know, because...
To you.
Yeah.
To you.
I mean, that's how I came up. You know, there's some guys you like more than others as a fan, but I was respectful to everybody. You know, been thanking them for laying the groundwork. Like, doing what you did allows me to make a good living doing this. And I always looked at it like that. Plus, a lot of guys you're like a fan of. Like, holy cow. You know, I remember the first time I saw Killer Kowalski in the back. I was like, holy shit.
That's Killer Kowalski.
And I remember Triple H was, you know, he trained Triple H. So they're traveling together. And they're sharing a room. And I had to go, bro, does he sleep with that brutal wig on? and he went, and Paul went like, yeah. And I went, oh. I said, you can't say something to him? He goes, I don't know what to do. You know, like Paul was really shy then, you know, and like, I don't know what to do. You know? I said, bro, you'd be doing him a favor. Tell him it's brutal, you know. But, you know, it's really cool to see the old timers in the back and stuff. I mean,
Tell us how you broke into the biz.